So we are online now.
Yeah, right. Good evening, everybody. Happy English and Education Web series on English language empowerment and soft skills and initiation taken by English Home English Teachers Forum Udupi in collaboration with Swastika National School, Bangalore. We are in our 45th program in our web series. It has been a very successful program which had addressed already a number of topics which are related to English language empowerment and child psychology, classroom methodology, and different topics which are helpful for the teachers. Have been witnessing the participation of teachers from all over Karnataka, especially from Udupi and Dakshina Kannada. Today we are here with one more interesting topic, that is better spoken English for better communication by Dr. G. Rajagopal sir. First of all, I would like to extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. G. Rajagopal sir, today's resource person. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
My welcome goes to today's chief guest, Dr. Malini and Hebbar, the principal of Swastika National School. Welcome you, madam. First of all, I would like to introduce today's chief guest, Dr. Malini G. Hebbar, and Hebbar is a former HOD and associate professor of English of Saint Anne's Center for PG students and research. She is an MA, MPhil, and PhD in English literature. Her minor research program was on innovative methods of teaching and English in multicultural context. She has done additional certificate courses in journalism and HRD. She is the former faculty of IMS Time and Trisha, which trains students for competitive exams. Dr. Hebbar has also, to her credit, membership in various bodies and organizations. She is a member of research sorry.
That's fine, Ashok. No problem at all.
Yeah, okay.
It's
Research Ethics Committee of Kasturba Medical College, a member of Anti-Harassment and Women's Grievance Cell, NITE, chapter president and district officer of Toastmasters, was chairman of Mangalore Udupi chapter of Indian Society for Training and Development, past district chairman of Innerville District 318, member of Samata, a women's organization, and BOS member of School of Social Work. She was also the former coordinator of IQAC and NAC of St. Anne's College, IQAC of Father Muller's Nursing and Social Work, also former member of SDM Ujire and St. Aloysius College. Also to her due credit many awards won: DTM Toastmasters Prize, Service to Mankind Award from Rotaract and UNESCO, one Outstanding Toastmasters Award from International Orientation Center, as also was a Women Achiever by Rajagopal.com. She also has publication and presentation to her cradle, presented paper and articles in national and international journals. She has also been in the faculty development program of different educational institutions, resource person in webinar to grammar session to PU students appearing board exams. She has been a pioneer in innovative methods of teaching, a resource person for PU students of Karnataka. This is today's chief guest, Dr. Malini Hebbar. I request, madam, please share some words with the participants.
Thank you, Mr. Ashok Tekate, for that, I must say, extensive introduction given to me. Warm thanks. Respected resource person of the evening, Dr. G. Rajagopal, Mr. Ashok Tekate, convener of English Forum, Udupi. I don't know whether Dr. Raghavendra Hulla has logged in. I can't see him. Maybe he will log in a little while later. My own chairman, Dr. Hulla, faculty members and other teachers, professionals, and guests who have logged in, students who have logged in. Good evening. I'm very happy to be the chief guest of this 45th meeting. Now, I stressed that 45th number, 45, because you see, both these numbers, 4 and 5, are very significant. 4 is a unique number because it has 4 letters in it, and its value is also 4. So 4 is indeed unique. And 5 for us is important because of 5 elements, 5 senses. And we always say Panchamam Karya Siddhi. And when you put 4 and 5 together, it comes to number 9, which is taken as a magical number. But I know that organizers of this forum know fully well that there is nothing magical about language acquisition. There is nothing miraculous about language acquisition. It is only with hard work that we can acquire any language for that matter, not necessarily English, any language for that matter. But when it comes to English, our colonizers' language, we also have psychological barriers. That is why we need special platforms, special organizations, which would train our youth to have the kind of confidence that they need to have when they use the English language. There is this concept called peripheral learning. And when it comes to India, unfortunately for us, peripheral learning can be quite disastrous. Take, for instance, many of the hoardings that we get to see many shops putting the heading as manufacturers of wooden furnitures. A child that looks at the word furnitures has this wrong structure getting embedded because there is no plural for furniture, but the child looking at this particular board, many such boards for that matter, has this wrong idea. Now, there are schools that advertise themselves as art of writing, not writing, but writing. Again, a child looking at this will have the wrong spelling getting embedded. There are people who, despite the fact that they can use the language effectively if they only care to or choose to, use the language carelessly. I remember the president of an organization introducing a chief guest with the words, both of us studied in the same organization, same college, but by the time I joined the institution, he had already passed away. Now, I don't know whether it was the slip of his tongue, but he did not even correct himself. So you see, a whole lot of listeners who perhaps wouldn't know the difference between passing out and passing away will have this wrong structure. So peripheral learning is very difficult in a country like India. Now, what happens to the training that we get? What happens to the training that we get in educational institutions? Now, even there we have a problem because it is syllabus oriented. So even a student who gets 80%, 90% in the examination may not be able to use the language effectively when it comes to spoken English, when it comes to communicating with others. That is why we need forums of this kind, and we need speakers like Dr. Rajagopal who would mold the youth of today so that they can use the language effectively. If not very effectively, at least not erroneously. I began with the number 45. I continue with the number 28 because today it is the 28th of August. 28 itself is significant again because you have number 2, which tells you you needn't be second to anyone, second to none. But does it mean that each one of us can be the front runners? No, but we can be the best of what we strive to be. Now, number 8 is a symmetrical number. And when you hold it horizontally, if not vertically, it becomes the symbol of infinity. And this symbol of infinity speaks to us about the infinite opportunities that can come our way if only we are like a piece of sponge, ready to absorb, ready to learn. And 2 and 8 together will give us 10, which is not the magical number like 9, but it is a mystical number. Number 1 encourages you to be full of self-confidence, and 0 is a number of divinity. So to all gathered here with the interest to learn, I have my best wishes and I have my heart full of gratitude for our resource person and for the English Forum of Udupi for having come up with such an interesting and unique concept as having webinars one after the other so that we grow more and more conscious of the language that we employ. Thank you very much. Back to Ashok.
Thank you so much, madam, for your knowledgeable words. As one of the collaborative partner of this series, we are very grateful to you, madam. Thank you so much. And now it is time to have the introduction of today's trainer. I feel very happy to introduce such a great and multifaceted personality before all of you. Dr. G. Rajagopal, Professor retired, the English and Foreign Languages University, Hyderabad, presently residing in Mysore, Karnataka. He got his BA, B.Ed and MA in English from Mysore University, PGDTE, MPhil, PhD from CIEFL, Hyderabad, Advanced Diploma in Applied Linguistics from University of Edinburgh, Scotland, United Kingdom. And he started his career as lecturer in English at MES College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Malaysia and Bangalore. Worked as teacher trainer at Regional Institute of English, Chandigarh, Union Territory, and joined the English and Foreign Language University of Hyderabad and retired from EFL University on 31st May 2013. Has worked in overseas, also taught at Sultan Qaboos University in Muscat, Sultanate of Oman, visiting professor at Sanas University in Sanas, Republic of Yemen. He is a teacher of English, teacher trainer, resource person for training in ELT as well as training the corporate personnel. Specialist in bi and multilingualism, classroom ELT theories and practices, research into the role of language one, that means mother tongue, in the teaching of English and helping teachers of English, especially those with a dominant language one background, cope with problems in teaching English in rural and urban setups in India and elsewhere across the world. For PhD, developed a bilingual reading methodology to enable class 9 Kannada medium learners learn better reading skills in English and use their knowledge of language one as a helpful and a productive resource in this process. Specialist in ELT and its related areas such as TESOL, ESP, EST, TEFL, ESL, phonetics and spoken English, communication skills, testing, assessment, and examination reforms, presentation skills, and personality development. He is the author, editor of books, articles, and research papers, publications. Is a dean, registrar, HOD, etc. of English and Foreign Languages University of Hyderabad, member of Karnataka State Textbook Committee and DSCIT Karnataka, member of boards of studies in English in a few Indian universities, member of National Academic Advisory, KB Sangam, Sangatan MHRD, Government of India, chairman of core committee for preparation of position paper for teaching English in India and NCRT Government of India project, organized national and international seminars, conferences, symposia. He traveled widely in India and overseas and taken part in dramatics as actor, director, and stage hand. This is today's multifaceted resource person. We are very proud. We feel very proud to have him here today. He is in is here for the second time in our series. Dr. G. Rajagopal, welcome you back again, sir, and over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful to Dr. Malini Hebbar, Honorable Principal, and Mr. Ashok Tekate. Ma'am, I'm very happy to see how interested you are in numerals and how you're able to analyze numbers so beautifully. It's a wonderful experience. And I have never had this sort of an experience. And I'm so grateful to you for giving such insights. I'm sure your students must be enjoying your sessions most thoroughly in your college. No wonder you're a very successful principal. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir. It's very encouraging. Thank you
Not
very
at all.
much.
It's a very unique ability, in fact. And therefore, I'm very happy that you're able to see life from a different perspective altogether. And numerals as part of our living. Wonderful, madam. Excellent. Ashok is my old friend, and I'm very happy to be appearing in this forum once again for the second time. And it's so nice that every Saturday Ashok is able to hold this stage on for the 45th time. It's not a small achievement at all. And every Saturday at 6 o'clock, he's there. And it's such a happy forum. We are very happy. Thank you, Ashok, once again for bringing me over here. It's such a pleasure. A very warm welcome this evening. It's raining beautifully outside in Mysore. The weather is absolutely cool, delightful. And I'm so happy that so many of you, 76, 77 of you have joined so far. And I don't know how many others are on the YouTube. Okay, I'm now coming to my topic. I have deliberately titled it Better Spoken English for Better Communication, because both these features are very important for us in our lives. What I'm going to do is I will share some information about language learning. I will take you to understand a few things about languages and about English in particular. And I will ask you to do a few things very unusually on this program a little later. And then I will give you a few tips on how you can certainly master spoken English. What are the things that are there in spoken English and spoken communication to master? I will conclude with that. Then there will be certainly plenty of opportunity for you to ask questions, make your remarks, comments, and so on at the end of it all. And I'll be most happy to answer any of your questions. So, most important of all, I want you to keep a piece of paper and a pencil to make your notes. This is important because as I speak, it can be that you may not get such an information elsewhere. And so it's very important that you take part in this program and make it useful to yourselves also. And that will also help you when you want to ask your questions. So shall we start? We are starting. Good. Now, one or two things you should know about English. Why are we talking today about spoken English and spoken English in communication? Simply because we know the importance of English. And we know that English is the second most important language in the world. In other words, it's a global language. widely spoken, widely used by so many people, millions, trillions all over the world, and hence English is extremely important. And therefore, we need to pay attention to English. So, having said that, if we look at English, we'll notice one or two things. And that is, English, you should know, is not a part of the family of Indian languages. It's a European language. It's called Anglo-Saxon. It's a European language. So it does not belong to the family of languages which we have in India. As you know, we have very distinct Indian languages where lots of characteristic features are shared. We understand quite a lot of Indian languages simply because they all belong to the same family. Now, because English is from a different family altogether, it is a new language for us. Now, what do we mean when we say it's a new language for us? It means that we have to learn that language. You can now switch on the first PPT, Ashok, which says Better Spoken English for Better Communication. The title is there. You can start sharing the screen now. Good. Now, we need to therefore understand that when English belongs to a different family of languages, like French, Spanish, Italian, all of those Western languages, European languages, there are bound to be a number of differences between our languages and English. We will see those differences very soon. We'll see that. Which means, point number two, that when we ask a question such as, is English our language? No, it is not our language. Then who are we? Are we what we call, and these are some of the words you should learn today and you should remember them for future use. Are we native speakers of English? No, we are not. We are non-native speakers of English. We are native speakers of our languages, whether it is Kannada or whether it is Tulu or it is Konkani or it is whatever other language it is. We are all native speakers of our languages, Indian languages. We are native speakers of Kannada, Telugu, Tulu, Konkani, Malayalam, and so many other languages. So we are non-native speakers of English. Why are we talking of this? Simply because, ladies and gentlemen, you must understand that there is nothing to be ashamed of when we speak in English. Nothing. The moment we open our mouth, anybody who is listening to us will immediately know that we are not native speakers of English. As simple as that. And so we are not native speakers. And if we are non-native speakers, we shall be speaking some other form of English. We will be speaking the non-native speakers' English. And therefore, there is nothing to be ashamed of. If I want to learn, for example, Bengali, it's not my language. So I'm a non-native speaker of Bengali. And a Bengali speaker, when he speaks or when he or she speaks to me, and when I try to speak Bengali, that person immediately knows that, oh, my, you are not a Bengali speaker, and therefore, okay, your Bengali is going to be different. That's it. And the same thing happens, for example, if I speak Kashmiri. They will also understand that I'm not a native speaker of Kashmiri. And therefore, being a non-native speaker is not a negative qualification, ladies and gentlemen. It's just that we are non-native speakers. That's all. Are you clear? So don't get worried at all. So the first point that I want to make is that let us get over this idea that, oh my God, I can't speak English. And my English, what will people think about my English? How will I sound? What if I make grammar mistakes? And no, what if my pronunciation is on? That is natural. It is bound to be. And in fact, if you speak English like the English people, then nobody will say that you are a non-native speaker. Ah, excellent. But we can't do all that. So therefore, nothing to feel worried about it. So be very happy that you are a non-native speaker of English. Excellent. Number one. Number two, next point. Today, as you can see on the PPT, we are talking of spoken English. What does spoken English refer to? It refers to speaking English. Spoken English ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಭಾಷೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಸ್ಪೋಕನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. Spoken English is speaking English. Like spoken Kannada, spoken Tamil, spoken Tulu, spoken Telugu, all are spoken. Why are we talking about spoken so much? There is a difference between speaking English and writing English. Big difference between spoken English and written English. Spoken Konkani and written Konkani. Spoken Kannada and written Kannada. I'm sure you understand that there is a big difference between the way we speak a language and the way we write a language. And today, we are not going to talk about written or writing English. No, we are not talking about writing English. That's a big field altogether, field of knowledge. So today we are focusing on spoken English, speaking English. And that's more than enough for today and so on. So spoken English is also known as oral English, oral communication. Why do we say oral communication? Again, there is a difference between oral communication and written communication. Big difference between the two. Writing system is very different from speaking or the spoken system. Now, today we are not going to look at speaking other languages, but we are specifically looking at speaking English. What is special about speaking English? Move on to number 2, Ashok. Spoken English 1. Good. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are trying to look at the English sounds, the English words, something called stress, something called intonation, and something called connected speech. I hope your notes is very complete. Now, when we talk of spoken English, we focus our attention on the English sounds, the English words, stress, intonation, connected speech, and so on. We'll understand all these very soon. Don't worry about it. And then we will see which of these are very important. Which of these is very important for us as speakers of English. And that's very important. But before we go any further, I want you to know one or two things. All languages all over the world have speech sounds. We call them meaningful speech sounds. The sounds which we produce And I'm now going to use a big word which I want you to learn. We call it utterance. Utterance. Whatever we speak is what we call utterance. Whatever language it is, all languages. When you speak, you create sounds. You also create words. You create sentences. You construct sentences. And this is normal. And this is normal all over the world. All language speakers all over the world use these utterances. They produce sounds, they produce meaningful sounds, and you don't produce meaningless sounds. When we speak Kannada also, we produce meaningful Kannada sounds, but we don't produce any meaningless sounds. And in English also, we produce very meaningful sounds. And when we put the sounds together, we call it utterance. Lots of utterances and so on. And so it becomes very important. And so to understand spoken English, we need to understand what we call speech sounds. Now, you should know that all languages all over the world have speech sounds, but not all languages all over the world have the written script. Tulu, for example, doesn't have a written script. And so it uses a script such as Kannada. And so it writes whatever you write in Tulu, you write it in the Kannada script. But it is Tulu language. But you speak Tulu. And therefore, that is a spoken language. And there is a written system which some languages have. And there are some languages which don't have. So you don't have to really worry about it. So we say that English has both the spoken symbols as well as the written symbols. Now, how many letters are there in English alphabet? Please don't say 26 alphabets. No, 26 letters of the alphabet. It is one alphabet. What is the meaning of an alphabet? It comes from the word alpha and beta. Alphabet is a collection of the number of letters in a language. How many letters are there in Kannada? Maybe 54, 55, 56, whatever it is. Every language which has a script has an alphabet. And English has 26 letters in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, X, Y, Z. These are 26 letters in its alphabet, and there is only one alphabet. Every language, remember, has only one alphabet and so many letters. But what is special about English is English has 44 sounds. It produces 44 different sounds. Now, 26 letters produce 44 sounds. What is special about this? What is special is that in English, because it has more number of sounds and it uses only 26 letters, the same letter produces different sounds. Or sounds are produced by combination of letters, and all kinds of letters produce all kinds of sounds. We will see examples very soon. Why is this important to know? Because in our languages, understand this very well. In our languages, all Indian languages, we don't have this problem. If we have 54 sounds, 54 letters, there are 54 sounds. Combination of letters, there is no difference at all. I always take the example of something like Venkataramana, Venkataramana. Venkataramana in Kannada, when you write Venkataramana, you pronounce it also as Venkataramana. Satyanarayana is always a Satyanarayana. Ashok Tekkatte is always Ashok Tekkatte. It's the same thing. There's no difference between our spoken system and the written system. We speak whatever we write, and whatever we write is what we also speak, which is not the case in English. In English, there is a big difference between spelling and pronunciation. Vijay Satya, you use the term non-phonetic. I don't want to use big words now. Technical words I'm avoiding. And therefore, I'm using fairly simple. Thank you for that. Now, in English, therefore, if you have to produce 44 sounds from 26 letters, you normally will have lots of new sounds coming in with new combination of letters and so on. And therefore, one of the problems we have in English, not so much in spoken English, but when it comes to writing, is that English writing system is a very complex system. And so you have to learn the writing. That means you have to learn the spelling, and you have also to learn pronunciation and so on. How does this happen? Now we will see this. Please move on to number 3, Ashok. In spoken English 2. Good, good. Now, look at this. All languages have their vowel sounds and consonant sounds. Perhaps. I don't know the African languages. Probably it is there also. In our language also, we have vowel sounds and consonant sounds. For example, if I take Kannada, I don't know Badaga, I don't know much Tulu. I can understand a little bit of Tulu, Konkani, but I will talk of Kannada because we know that language very well. In our language, for example, in Kannada, we say that a, I, u, e, o, au, and so on. Now, all these, not but all these other sounds are what we call vowel sounds. And all other sounds are consonant sounds. We have vowel letters in English, A, E, I, O, U. And all the letters are consonant letters. And similarly, English also has vowel sounds and consonant sounds. Now, what do we mean by these vowel sounds and consonant sounds? Let us understand it very briefly. When I produce a sound, and when I produce it, if it comes out very freely, very continuously, right? If we produce it, and when we produce it, it comes out very freely, very continuously, it's called a vowel sound. For example, A, E, O, O, all these sounds are coming from inside without any obstruction. Whereas if I say t, 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 there is an obstruction. There is an obstruction. The sound is coming out from inside, from the lungs, but it means I hold the two lips together, stop the sound, and then produce it with a blow explosion. So we call it I'm producing s, and while producing s, for example, I'm holding my, all of you keep saying it, say it after me, keep saying it. Shamelessly produce all these sounds, every one of you. Keep talking, keep saying. S, z. What is happening here? I'm holding my tongue a little up and stopping the sound coming out very freely. And there is a small hole through which it comes. And therefore, that is a consonant sound. Kaka, kiki, kuku, papa, tata, tata, all of them are consonant sounds because in their production, there is some kind of an obstruction. Whereas a, I, u, o, there is no obstruction at all. So these are vowel sounds in Kannada. There are vowel sounds in English also. And so these 44 sounds in English are distributed as vowel sounds and consonant sounds. So we don't have to know more about it, just this much of information for the time. That English, like our languages, also has vowel sounds and consonant sounds. So we have to learn all these sounds. Look at the next one. There are a number of English sounds which are not available in our languages. Nothing great about it, but a very important point. Just as, for example, there are a number of Indian sounds which are not there in English. Similarly, there are a number of sounds in English. There are a number of English sounds which are not there in our languages. Why is it like this? We don't know. This is a cultural thing. This is how the languages have come up. We don't have to bother about it, but we have to learn. Which means the point here is, ladies and gentlemen, understand this very well. Now our problem starts that there are a number of sounds in English which are not there in our Indian languages. Which means that when we learn spoken English, we have to learn those sounds also, those new sounds also, you see, which are not there in our languages. Just as if an Englishman who speaks English, who is a native speaker of English, if he or she wants to learn Kannada, that person has to learn the sound L. Male. L is not there in English. L is there. L is not there. And therefore, that person has to struggle to produce the sound L, Male. Oh, see how difficult it can be. And therefore, the point at this moment is that there are a number of English sounds which are not available in our languages. And so we have to learn those English sounds. This is where we have problems. We begin to have problems. And therefore, because we have to learn those new sounds in English, that will create some problem with our spoken English. So what is the problem in spoken English? Learning those new sounds in English. If we learn them, then there will be fewer problems, not so many problems. And so we need to learn some of those new sounds. And what are they? And why do they create a problem? How do they create a problem? All right, let us see. Let's go one step further. Please go to number 4, spoken English 3, Ashok sir. Good. No, 3. Spoken English 3. Yeah, leave it at that. Well, here are some new sounds. Now, look at all those letters. You know all the words. BAGDAMHAD, SHAFT, and so on and so forth. You can read them and or you know all. Don't write them. Just listen. Now, these are new sounds which are there in English, which are not there in our languages, and which therefore we have to learn. Learn to pronounce, learn to say them aloud, and learn to use them when we speak in English. Good. Now, what I want you to do is, I want all of you to unmute. All of you, unmute. All of you, unmute. Unmute yourselves. Good. Now listen. Right. Don't talk other things. I will ask you to mute. Now, I'm going to read them aloud. And after I read, you must pronounce them. You must also read them. Okay. Are you all ready? Ready?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Ready.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Very
Yes,
good.
sir.
Very good. Now, listen. I'm going to read 3 words and then I'm asking you to pronounce them. Right. I want all of you to say bag. Bag. Good.
Bag.
Good. Good. Now I want you to say dam.
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 Good. Now say had. Had.
Hat.
Had.
Good. All of you mute. Mute now. Mute. 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 No noise. No noise. Good. Now look at these sound. Why is it problem sound? Bag has the sound a. We don't have the sound a. Dam, a. Had, a. We don't have the sound a in our languages. So what do? What we do is we say bag or bag, dam. Many people say dam. Had, not very difficult, had. Now, bag, we say. Why do we say bag or bagu? We don't say bag, fortunately not. Why do we say like that? I'll come to that in a minute. Now, listen to the next line. I'm going to read 3 words. Listen first. I want all of you to listen to B-I-R-D. B-I-R-D is pronounced as bird. Bird. Say it, all of you. All of you say it. Bird.
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 Next one. Earth. Earth. Bird. Now mute. Now mute. Mute. Mute now. Now listen. Now B-I-R-D. We say bird. Bird. But English, it's not bird, but it is bird. And we don't even speak the sound R at all. So it is not bird, but it is bird. Now E-A-R-T-H is earth. We don't even pronounce the R. So it is not earth. In English, E-A-R-T-H is not earth. W-O-R-M is worm. Which is, so it is not worm. Worm. Now, why is it like this? Why do we say bird, earth, worm? Why do we say like that? Because we don't have the English sound. English has the sound but our languages don't have that sound. So what do? What we do is we take out the English sound and put our sound there. You see? You have no problem. So we say earth, worm, bird. This is because we are not native speakers of English. We are non-native speakers of English. Now look at the next set. Listen, don't speak, listen. I'll go a little faster now. Above, about, another. Now in English, you don't hear above, another. No, we speak like above, about, another. Why do we do that? Because we want to pronounce, we want to say all the sounds, because it is like that in our languages. So because it's like that in our languages, we say above, about, another, and so on. But English is not like that. In English, only some parts are pronounced, some are not pronounced. Look at the THINK Thick, Though. Look at that. How do we pronounce them? We say think, thick, thought. Think, thick, thought. Is that right? Now, it's not like that in English. TH in THINK is pronounced, look at my nose, look at my mouth very carefully. It is pronounced as you don't hear it. So it is think, thick, thought, and it is not think, thick, thought. Look at the next one, THIS, THOAC, and THESZ. Now, in English, THIS is pronounced as this, this, those, these. How do we say? We say this, that, these, those, da. But in English, it's not da, but it is this, those,
This,
these.
those.
See how different it is. Now,
Breathe.
why do we say this, those, these? Because we don't have. Why do we say think? Because we don't have. So, look at the last one now. WHY, AWAY, WOULD. How do we say this? Why? Away, would. Finished. But in English, W is not pronounced like that. In English, WHY is why. Why?
Why?
Wherever you find W, your lips have to come forward like that, and it has to draw back like this.
Why?
So it's why.
Why?
AWAY is away.
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 WOULD is would.
Wood.
Would.
Wood.
Would.
Wood.
Now,
Wall.
okay. Now listen. Why don't we say why? Because we don't have that sound. Why do we say it as why? Why?
Why?
Because we have yara lava. Because we have. Wait. Don't speak. Nobody. Yeah. Because we don't have wa, but because we have yara lava, so we say wa. Why? Away. Would. And now look at the last ones here: SHAFT, EARNEST, AMONG, and so on. Now, produce all of you keep saying it. Shaft. Say it. Shaft.
Shaft.
Good. Earnest.
Honest.
Earnest.
Honest.
Now say among.
Among.
Now try and say breath.
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 BREATHE. Breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Breathe.
And now try and say world.
World.
Very good.
Wall.
Very nice.
Wow.
So you know. So okay. Now mute. All of you mute. So what we are trying to say is that there are some sounds in English. Don't say anything. No, all of you. Mute it. Everybody mute. Mute. Good. I want everybody to mute. Now remember, what is the point of this exercise? Because there are new sounds in English, sounds which are new to us. Number one, we should learn all these sounds. And number two, we use our own sounds on these words. And so we should avoid that. Now I'll go to the last part here and quickly pronounce them. Now, Poor, I will pronounce it the way we pronounce it normally. Pour, sure, make, chase, placement, tomato or tomato, most, show, grow, shoulder, postpone, stare, where, dare. This is how we pronounce them. How are they pronounced in English? Listen very carefully. Poor, I will start with that. Poor, poor, sure,
Sure.
sure,
Sure.
make,
Make.
chase,
Chase.
placement,
Placement.
tomato,
Tomato.
no, tomato,
Tomato.
most,
Most.
show,
Show.
grow, shoulder,
Shoulder.
postpone. It is not postpone. No, it's postpone. Aya, aya, where,
There.
where, there.
There.
Now, right, all of you mute it now, mute your phones now, mute now. Good. Let's move on to spoken English number 4. Good. Just as we saw some of those problem sounds, Ashok, move on to number 4, please. Good. Keep it at that. There are a few more sounds which create lots of problems for many of us. Although we have these sounds in our languages, still many people make mistakes here. And so we have to be very careful when we pronounce some of these words. I will read them. You know them. So I will quickly read through. S-U-N, S-H-I-P, S-H-O-E. Now, sun, ship, shoe. Now, S-U-N-S-O-N, sun. Same pronunciation, but different spelling. Ship has SH. I told you that English has 26 letters, but 44 sounds. And so it uses those 26 letters to produce many of these sounds. And so you can see, for example, inside line number 2, fine and photo. Now, fine has F and photo. Why not be F-O-T-O? No, P-H-O-T-O. And so, you see, for the same sound, there are 2 different spellings. And similarly, the next one, zoo, busy, easy. Now, the sound is the same, but different letters of the alphabet are used. Zoo has Z, busy has S, and easy also has S. So therefore, in English, many words have different spellings and different pronunciation, which means all of you will have to learn the spelling as well as the pronunciation. Last line, enjoy, business, rosy. Now, look at these ones on this side. I have explained all of them, so this should be fairly. Education, shun. Now, shun has S-H-I-P, S-H, and here it has T-I-O-N, and sh sound is produced. How is this possible? Why can't we say education? No, it is not education. It has to be education. And so we have to learn the spelling here, not just the pronunciation. Look at the next word, statistics. And look at the next one, geography. Now, F was there, PH was there, and PH is here once again in geography. And look at the last word there. It is not pronounced exams, it is exams. 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 X stands for X, and S here becomes Z, as in zoo, as in busy. So you see, we have to learn lots of things about spelling, about pronunciation. Then there is this thing called stress. Look at the bottom of this presentation. Some words which have more than one part have something called stress. I'll pronounce all these words the way we normally pronounce. We do. We say teacher, college, market, enjoy, enjoyment, intelligent. This is how we pronounce, because in our languages, we don't have this thing called stress. Our languages are simply where, if I said, as I said some time ago, Venkataramana, is it Venkataramana? In English, it is not like that. The moment you have two parts in a word, like teacher, for example, there is one part which becomes very important. And this is typical in English, which we have to learn. And that's what we call stress. So how do we pronounce these words? Listen. In English, it is teacher. Teach. So you hear teacher. College. Not college. College. Not college. It's college. Market. Enjoy. Enjoyment. Intelligent. Intelligent. Very intelligent boy. No. In English, it's intelligent. Where there is a stress on one part, as in T, as in call, as in ma, etc., etc., etc. So stress is something, again, very problematic for us, big problem, along with sounds. Now let's move one step further. And now we are coming to the end of our discussion. Ashok, please move on to spoken English 5. Good. Here are some sentences which I have constructed. Now, these sentences are very important because this is what we call spoken English, but connected speech. When you speak in sentences, it is connected speech. So far, we were looking at simply words. But look at when you combine words into sentences. We say, for example, I'll read these sentences for you. June and July are important for finding new jobs. Why are they underlined? Because many people say June, July are important for finding new jobs. No, you cannot pronounce like that. So it has to be j, j. So June and July are important for finding new jobs. The other thing is also what is known as intonation. Whenever there is a full stop, the voice has to stop, completely stop. And so I can say that, for example, this is a long sentence, I can take a break. And then I can say like June and July are important. So you know something else is coming for finding new jobs. And when I finish the sentence, my voice. Similarly, for example, look at number 2. I shall be available anytime you call me. You can break it if you want. I shall be available, and so the voice tells me that there is something more coming. Anytime you call me. I can even stop after any. I shall be available anytime you call me. No problem at all. But at me, the voice has to fall. That is intonation. But why is that underlined? Because many people say, I shall be. And many Bengali and other speakers say available. So it's not available. It has to be available, which is a new sound. Available. So many people say available. I shall be available anytime you call me. Oh, not good. Number 3. These are problematic sounds in algebra. Why are they underlined? Because many people say these problematic sums in algebra. J becomes Z. No. So you have to watch out. These are problematic sums in algebra. Number 4. When would you, sorry, get back to that, please. Please get back to the PPT 5. Ashok, please keep PPT 5 on. PPT 5, please. Spoken English 5.
Ashok, are you around? Maybe there is some problem at his end, sir. There is no response from him.
Looks like that. Somebody from Swastika?
Who else has your PPT, sir?
Nobody. Only Ashok has it.
Oh. Maybe we will try calling him to find out what's the problem.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I called actually Ashok sir. He told he'll present now.
Okay.
He got some issue. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah. I think he's done. He's doing it now.
I think his system is lagging.
Okay, I'll continue talking. In the meantime, we might get this. That's okay. So, when we see these sentences, we need to understand that our pronunciation has to be very satisfactory. And all that we are trying to say that English is a new language for us, and therefore English has lots of problems. And anyway, now I'm going to come to the last PPT, which might appear, which says communication in English. This is for your information. So don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Now, when it comes to communication, having seen all these problems with words, spellings, pronunciation, sentences, construction, communication, there are problems in English in all these aspects. So now, how do we overcome some of these problems? What we are going to do is, in this last PPT, let's hope it comes back. We are going to look at a few things which all of you should be aware of. Good, that's much better. It's coming on. Good, good. Right. Come down to communication in. That's fine. Excellent. Thank God about it. Good. Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, move on to the last one. Go to the last one. Communication in English. Next one. Please go to the next one. Next one. Good. Go to the next one. Not bad. People are still waiting with a lot of patience. Good. Yeah. Go to the last PPT, Ashok. Good. Good. Leave it at that. Leave it at that. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to conclude my talk now. Then I'll open it for you to ask questions. Now, there are 4 things which you should know now. We have talked of all kinds of problems in spoken English and communication skills. Now, we are going to look at what is important for us when we speak in English. Remember the title of the talk, Better Spoken English for Better Communication. What is important for better communication? Look at number 1. At number 1, we talk of what is called accuracy. Make a note of it. You should make a note of it. Accuracy comes from the word accurate. That means when it comes to spoken English, ladies and gentlemen, listen very carefully. Accuracy means speak accurately, the way the native speakers speak English. Exact, precise. And so, for example, we say, today's special is spoken English, better spoken, and so on. Accuracy. Question is, should we speak accurately? The second question is, can we speak accurately? Answer is no, we can't. The second answer is no, we need not speak accurately. No, we speak our English. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you speak in English, your spoken English, your communication in English, please don't bother about accuracy. Strike it off. We don't need it. So don't try to imitate anybody. Don't try to imitate English speakers or American speakers. Don't try all those things. Be very simple. Speak your Udupi English. Speak your Mangalore English. Perfectly all right. There is nothing wrong with that. Ujre English as good as any other English. please speak your English. Number one. So accuracy is out. Number two, fluency. Fluency comes from the word fluent. Fluent means without any stopping. So when you speak in English, you must speak fluently, just as you speak your mother tongue. Whatever language you speak, if you're speaking Tulu or Badaga or Kannada or whatever language, Konkani, please speak it fluently. What does it mean? What does it mean, speak fluently? You should not speak, say, no. None of those drama at all. We should not be saying, no, none of them. Nobody likes it. You should not speak like that. So what should you speak? You should speak slowly, and you should speak quietly, easily, without getting any problem, getting into any problem. So fluency, very important. So what do we mean by fluency? Look at that word, easy speaking. You must speak comfortably. No strain at all. So this is a very important in better spoken English for better communication. Number two, fluency, very important. Number three, equally important, appropriateness. Appropriate comes from the word proper. Proper English. What does it mean? See what has been written there. Know what to say, where, when, how, and we can add with who, whoever you're speaking with. It's very, very important. Your sentences should be simple, should be grammatically correct, should be proper, which means you should know what to say, where, when, how. And this is very important about with whom you are speaking also. And therefore, number two, very important. Number three, extremely important. But the most important of all is number four. Please get back to the PPT, number four. Number four is a very long word, and I'll help you with that. Number four is what we call intelligibility. Write it slowly. INTELLIGIBILITY. I'll repeat. INTE, you can see it now. Intelligibility. INTELLIGIBILITY. Now, what does intelligibility mean? Intelligibility comes from the word legible. You know legible? When you write, you have to write very neatly. That is legible. Intelligibility does not come from the word intelligent. No, it comes from the word legible. So which means, what is that? When I speak in English, look at that. The listener must understand everything I speak without any problem. Most important in spoken English, for better spoken English, for better communication. When I speak, when you speak to somebody in English, speak slowly, not very fast. Don't use long sentences. Use very simple sentences. Be audible. That person should hear you very well. Use very simple sentences so that your listener understands everything you say without any problem. So the listener will not say, what did you say? Say it again. No, the listener should not say it. When you speak in English, whether it is interviews or whether you are making a presentation, you are doing something else, you're explaining something, you're talking something in English. When you speak in English, ladies and gentlemen, speak slowly, speak clearly, but make sure that what you say is fully understood. Everything is understood by your listener, and your listener has no problem. Therefore, to conclude, in good spoken English, better spoken English, and better communication, the important things are: accuracy is not important. Don't try to imitate, but fluency is very important, very important. Appropriateness of language use, very important. Intelligibility, the most important idea. So whatever you speak should be completely understood by the listener. And wherever you're speaking, whether you're speaking in Mangaluru, Udupi, or you're speaking in Abu Dhabi, or you're speaking in America or Britain, London, wherever you're speaking, or you're speaking to a Bengali or an Odia or a Kashmiri or somebody from Assam, whoever you're speaking to, make sure that your spoken English has intelligibility. You're fluent, you're appropriate, you have intelligibility. Stopping there. I'll stop now. I'll open it out for questions. Anybody can ask questions. Ashok will take care of that. Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir, sir, really it was a very wonderful session for this evening. Sir, my doubt is that whenever it is related to spoken English, so many people say that try to think in English. How? But I find it very difficult to think in English. How do we practice to think in English?
No, it simply means that you should know sufficient words, proper words. You should know simple grammar.
Yeah.
You should be very clear about what you're talking, what the subject of the content of whatever you're saying. Is this Kalimani?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Right,
sir.
Kalimani.
Yeah.
So Kalimani, it simply means that when you speak, know what you want to say.
Yes,
Organize that information in very simple sentences. Use the right words.
Yeah.
Use the right voice. Be very clear, audible, etc., etc. Automatically, you know how to continue with communication. So thinking in English comes very automatically because you know what you want to say. That's all. So don't worry about it. It will be a very automatic process.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Any other questions? Dear participants, if you have any questions, you can ask it. You can also share your feedback.
ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಹಂಗೇನ್ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Yes, sir. And if you have any questions on the topic discussed today, you can also ask it. Malini madam, would you like to speak something?
It's not actually a question, but then I would like to share with Sir an observation that I have.
Yeah, you should.
You know, when we talk about intonation, especially, it's very difficult for us, since we are not native speakers of English, to get the kind of intonation that they have. And even the stress pattern, when we go through all those rules, yes, we understand. But then, you know, when it's very difficult to implement when we speak. So ultimately, probably what we can tell ourselves is that there is something known as regional pronunciation and regional way of speaking a language, which has now become acceptable because we have this idea now of Englishes and not one English as such. We have that. And once when we had a session on pronunciation and all that, one of our participants actually gave me a rule about the syllable part of it, sir. And I was so astounded by her input, because she said, it's very, we try to explain the concept of the syllable, a consonant sound, vowel sound, etc., etc. What she told us was, if you observe the movement of your chin, with every syllable, the chin comes down, she said, which I hadn't known at all. I have been teaching English for such a long time, but this one simple rule that she gave, in fact, amazed me. And I tried it out and I realized that she was right. Because when you say pray, it's only one movement. When you say football, you have the chin coming down. So I experimented with that rule that she gave, and I found it quite useful when it comes to the question of syllables, because syllables also come into picture, you see, when we have the question of pronunciation and all that. So I found it interesting. I think she teaches KG children and she had that particular rule. Good. So thank you very much, sir, for your session, because, you made us say after you, and it's very useful when there is a knowledgeable person who pronounces it properly and who makes us say after him or her. It's useful. If it is just theory, it's very difficult to follow. But when it is a practical session of this kind, it turns out to be very useful. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Fine. Well said. Well observed.
Any other or any observations or feedback?
Hello.
Yes, Jayalakshmi.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Tell
Thank
me. Tell me.
Sir, I sincerely appreciate your guidance in give up this deep knowledge of basic English, sir. Really, it's an honor to be a part of your classes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks a lot.
I felt it was a great opportunity for us, sir. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Very much.
Yes, it's informative and interactive session, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for providing such a useful program.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks
okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, madam. It was very informative class. I feel if you refer any book or any content, online content regarding sound, it is very useful, sir.
Good, very good. It's, see, there is one thing, Prabhu, listening to somebody, but it's another reading something. A book will give you plenty of practice. When you choose a book on spoken English, make sure that it has a CD or something like that, a recorded version in it. It should have a CD with it, because you can't have direct face-to-face interaction, but at least with a CD, you can listen and know what is the correct one. So don't buy any book without a CD. The book should contain a CD, and number one. Number two, as far as possible, there are plenty of books in the market, but make sure that it is an Indian author on Indian English, on writing in English, and so on, as Malini ma'am said sometimes just now. It's always very helpful, rather than listening to a British or an American, to listen to an Indian, because you will learn Indian sounds and it will be Indian pronunciation till you master basic communication. Later on, you can buy a book from a British author, or so not American, but a British author, and you can listen to that and then learn more. This is how you can certainly learn, sir. Okay. Somebody asked.
There is a question on the chat box by Vicky Satya. She says, how to avoid stutters and grammatical errors.
That's right.
While writing, no errors occur, but while speaking, it comes. How to
Yes.
overcome this situation?
Yeah, you know that stuttering, for example, or error making is basically a psychological problem. It's related to fear. It's related to anxiety. It is related to error making, what others think of us. And it is such thoughts which force us to stutter or make errors. We don't know. You see, all that we can say is that don't get scared. Don't feel shy. We can only say all these things by saying that one way of getting over all this is, as I repeatedly said, when you are very thorough with what you want to say, very clear about it, number one. Number two, you don't struggle to find very big words or very long sentences. No, you make sure that you are conveying information in fairly simple English, which you understand yourself. And mind you, if you practice this kind of simplicity in your spoken English, in your communication, automatically stuttering will disappear. It won't happen because you have nothing to fear. You know that basically your sentences are simple, and therefore by simple, we mean no complex constructions. Not required, simple constructions. And the simpler it is, whatever you want to say, the simpler it is, the fewer errors there will be. The fewer errors there will be, then you will make so many few grammatical errors, and automatically stuttering will disappear. So it's only something that you have to cultivate. How do you do this? My suggestion is, whenever you plan to speak something or ask a question, answer a question, please practice it in front of a mirror. Before you go to the class or you face an audience and so on, you want to read out something, please practice it, rehearse it. Nothing at all. Don't feel ashamed. That is one good way of learning how to speak. And when you rehearse, all the information, all the words, all the sentences will be up there in your minds. And so as you look at the script, the sentences just come out like that. And you know what is the next word, next sentence, and things. So when you know, in other words, when you have sufficient knowledge of what you want to say, then how to say it will become much less problematic, in my view. I think that's how you should practice it, ma'am. Good question. Thank you.
And also, sir, if I could add one
Please
point.
add, ma'am. Please add.
In the sense, you see all these stutters, verbal crutches, if one is aware of those, then when one grows conscious of those, that's the first step. Absolutely. Towards minimizing them. Absolutely. So constructive feedback would be of use. You could, if you are a teacher and if you tell your students, you can raise your hand. I read it in Reader's Digest some time back that a professor made it a point to tell his students that he was aware that he had a verbal crutch of saying, you know. So he told his students, whenever I say, you raise your hand. And you see how students are. They were all elated to do that. So every time the professor said, all hands went up. Right. And he admits at the end of the article that he got over the verbal crutch simply because he grew conscious of that.
That's all. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Any other observations?
It's only words of gratitude to sir that we see on the chat box. Yes.
I think let's conclude this session. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session. The knowledge you shared here today is very, very useful and worthy for all the teachers, which will be very helpful to improve our communication skill in English, spoken English. Thank you so much for your time and the knowledge you shared. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks, sir.
On behalf of English Home English Teachers Forum and Swastika National School.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Malini Hebbar, madam, for being today's chief guest. Thank you so much, madam.
Yes. And an unusually knowledgeable person who
Yeah.
could contribute to my speech. I have learned a lot of
Yeah, sir.
from Madhumita. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much. Very
Sir,
important.
if I could have a last word, I must very sincerely thank you for the earnestness with which you have taken this session. Many take sessions, but the earnestness and the enthusiasm with which you have taken this session have made all the difference, I must say.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.